Welcome to Lesson 8.1. Today we're going to be talking about statistical questions. What exactly is a statistical question? I bet you're wondering. I bet you've been wondering that for years now. A statistical question is basically like what you'd ask in a survey. It could have more than one possible answer. For instance, if I asked all the kids in school how they got to school today, I would get more than one response. Some might respond, I got to school on the bus. Some may have walked, right? Some may have gotten a ride from a parent or somebody else. Some may have ridden a bike. There's lots of, maybe they flew. Probably not, but maybe. So you could have more than one possible answer to this. And typically with a statistical question, you would ask lots of people and maybe take some tallies of how many did each kind of transportation. So what would not be a statistical question? Well, if I made a little change here and I said, how did Sally get to school today? Well, it's already happened. She's here. She only got to school one way. So it's not statistical. There's only one possible answer, and it's whatever she did. Maybe she took the bus. One answer, not statistical. Here's another example, and this is in your notes, of maybe a statistical question. A teacher may have taken some data or collected some data and recorded how many sheets of paper different students used within a week. So here, one student used 5 sheets. Another student used 10 sheets. 2 students, 15 sheets. 4 students, 20 sheets. 6 students used 25, and 5 students used 30. So there were different answers for different kids. So it is a statistical question. All right, so we have some situations here, and we want to know which are statistical and why. So the first one, what is the area of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper? Is it statistical? No, it's not statistical because there's only one area possible. You multiply length times width and you get an area, and it's going to be one thing. How many sheets of paper did you use last week? Well, if I was only asking one person, it would not be statistical. But if this was a survey and we were asking lots of people, so we're going to assume we're asking lots of people, they all might have different answers, right? So that would be statistical in that case. There's more than one possible answer. The last one, did Bill use notebook paper to write his book report? Well, we're only asking Bill, and he's already done it. So he's either done it or not. It's not statistical. There's only one possible answer. So there you have it. All right, here we go. We can take our tally chart and make a bar graph. And sometimes that's easier to kind of get a handle of the data with. So all I'm going to do, I have my x-axis, my independent variable, the number of sheets of paper, and I have the number of students who gave that response up on the y-axis. So for 5 sheets of paper, I had 1 student. For 10 sheets of paper, I also had 1 student. And I could keep going till all the data was plotted. And after plotting all our data, this is what I get. Now here are a couple questions. What was the high temperature on March 8th of last year? Is that statistical? Well, no. It already happened that the high temperature was whatever it was. It's not statistical. The next part asks, how could you change the question to make it a statistical question? Well, I could ask what was the temperature the day, and maybe it would be different temperatures throughout the day at different times. I also could ask, what is the high temperature on any given day, right? And then there'd be lots of different answers. So there we have a modified question that is statistical. Okay, well here is the part 2. We're going to use data to identify statistical questions with multiple answers. So Lucia surveyed the students in her class and made a dot plot of the results. What question could Lucia have asked? So we need to take a close look at the graph, and the title gives us a lot of information. It says it's students' weekly exercise, okay? And it looks to me like one student didn't exercise at all. 3 students exercised one day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 students exercised 2 days. 4 students exercised 3 days. 4 students exercised 4 days. 3 students exercised 5 days. And 1 student exercised every single day. So what was the question? Well, I think the question might have been, how many days do students exercise each week? And it is statistical because there's more than one possible answer. What is another statistical question Lucia could have asked about student exercise? Well, maybe she could ask them, what's your favorite way to exercise? That's one possibility. We could ask, what's your favorite day to exercise? Well, there's lots of things that you could ask. And it's statistical if it has more than one possible answer. Dante surveyed students to see how they feel about a proposal to choose a new school mascot. And we have this frequency table down here with their responses, okay? And so we're wondering, what question did Dante likely ask? Well, how about, should we change our mascot? And then they're asking, is it statistical? Well, yeah, we have 2 different answers, right? Some answered yes, some answered no. There's more than one possible answer because it's opinion. So yes, it is statistical. The next part says, how could Dante change his statistical question so that there'd be more than 2 possible answers? Well, maybe we ask them what our school mascot should be, right? Some people might love the alligator mascot. Some people might want to be the Yetis, right? Yeah, and there could also be people that think hawks would be a great mascot. So we could say, what? Can you think of some other ideas? I'm sure you could. Write them down. All right, here's some straight up practice. I'd like you to go through these questions, A through F, and write down a yes or a no, depending on whether you think they're statistical questions. If you think they're statistical, more than one answer, write a yes. If you think, nope, only one possible answer, write a no. That's it for today. I'll see you in class. I'm back for just a little bit of extra practice. Is this a statistical question? Does Bigfoot exist? Well, it's not statistical. There's only one possible answer, which is yes. Okay? Can we write a statistical question? How about, how many Bigfoot live in each state? Different states, I'm sure, have different populations of Bigfoot, depending on maybe the open space available and maybe just the availability of food and other things. So yeah, there would be more than one possible answer to that question.